it's Tatyana from Tatyana's Everyday Food, and welcome back to my kitchen. I've got another pumpkin cake recipe for you guys today. I'll be making my pumpkin cheesecake roulade cake. This cake is loaded with pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg. I filled it inside with a creamy whipped cream and cream cheese frosting. Top it all off with a little bit of caramel syrup. This pumpkin cake will satisfy all of your fall cravings. Let's start things off with the pumpkin cake first. Into my mixer bowl, I'm going to add in 6 large eggs, 1 cup of white granulated sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to whisk the sugar, eggs, and vanilla together on high speed until I have a light and fluffy mixture. And now for my dry ingredients, I have 1 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. I'm gonna add lots of spices to this cake. Just toss this all together. I've transferred my egg and sugar mixture into a bowl so you guys can see the volume and texture that you're going for. I'm going to sift in a little bit at a time. You want to fold gently but thoroughly after each addition. Make sure you scrape through the bottom of the bowl to get everything incorporated. And now for my final and most important ingredient, the pumpkin puree. I have 1/2 cup of pure pumpkin. It's unsweetened, unseasoned. I'm going to drop that right in. And then take my spatula and very gently fold that in. And now it's time to get this cake into the oven. I'm using a 12 by 17 inch jelly roll pan. I've lined the bottom with parchment paper. I'm going to transfer this cake batter right onto the paper. I'm going to spread this batter evenly to the edges. And I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and the cake is going to bake from 18 to 20 minutes or until that top is completely set. I just took my cake out of the oven, and now I'm going to work quickly to get it rolled up. I'm going to sprinkle the top first with some confectioner's sugar, and this is going to help keep the cake from sticking to the kitchen towel. I'm going to place a clean towel over the top, and then flip this cake over. And then starting at one end, gently roll it right up. And now I'm just going to set this aside and let the cake cool completely, and then we'll come back to fill it and roll it back up. While my pumpkin cake is cooling, I'm going to get started on that cream cheese filling. Into my mixing bowl, I'm going to add in 12 ounces of whipped cream cheese, and I've softened this at room temperature, and 1/2 cup of softened butter. I'm going to turn this up onto medium speed and whisk the butter and the cream cheese together until I have a light and fluffy mixture. And now I'm ready to add the rest of my ingredients. I have 1/2 cup of sweetened condensed milk. Pour that right in. 1 cup of cold heavy cream. A pinch of salt for some flavor. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now I'm just going to mix this all together on medium speed just until everything is combined. You want to be careful not to overmix the filling. I've let my cake cool completely, and now it's time to unroll it and get it filled. I'm going to gently peel off this parchment paper. And then add on my filling. And I'm going to use most of the filling. I'm going to keep a little bit for the top. Grab a flat spatula and spread the filling evenly to all sides. I'm going to start at one end and gently roll the cake back up the same way that I rolled it originally. And you can use this towel to help you along. I'm gonna grab my platter and try to gently roll the cake right onto there. And I'm gonna use the frosting that I have left over to frost the top and sides of the cake. I have my cake all frosted, and now for some finishing touches, I'm going to drizzle some caramel sauce over the top. How good does that look? And sprinkle the top with a little bit of ground cinnamon. I've let my cake chill in the refrigerator for about 2 hours, and now it's time to cut it open to see what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to grab a serrated knife and gently cut right into it. Isn't this a gorgeous pumpkin roulade cake? Look at all that cream cheese filling on the inside. It's going to taste so good, and if you want, you could drizzle even more caramel sauce over the top. And that's it, guys, for my pumpkin cheesecake roulade cake. I do recommend letting it sit at least for 4 to 6 hours or leave it in the fridge overnight to allow all those flavors to develop and for that frosting to set. Now it's time to dig in and enjoy this, and it looks so good. The flavors in this cake are spot on. That pumpkin is not overwhelming. You get just a light hint of the pumpkin combined with those warming spices, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, all covered in that creamy cheesecake filling. It's so good. This is going to be the perfect little afternoon treat, or if you want to satisfy your sweet tooth craving in the morning, enjoy this with a cup of coffee. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe, and I'll see you next time.